So my intro to the World Cup was actually in 1998, the World Cup in France. Now my main intro was, it was US versus Iran. It was the one of the opening matches, and so it was the hype fest all the way. President Clinton did a little thing before. They talked about US and Iran and all the conflicts and all this stuff. So I was hyped up. I'm like, oh, we about to get these guys. We didn't get those guys. We scored, Brian McBride scored one goal, and it just barely went over the line. But we lost to Iran. And so that started a real tradition for me where, you know, in every World Cup since, so from 98, I watched them all from 98 all the way, and I'll be watching this year. I will pick a team to follow who I think is actually a contender. Obviously not the US. And so, you know, this year, you have France defending champions. You have England, which who's US is facing off with. Obviously, I probably will be following England as my team this year. But there's a number of teams. I mean, there's teams from all over the place. And so, you know, this year, I mean, if the US somehow can become that Cinderella and kind of go all the way to maybe the quarterfinals, the semifinals. Well, they've been in quarterfinals before. Quarterfinals, semifinals, or even the final match. Oh my God, I will say I was with them the whole time. And they were my team. I'm USA. But I don't think that's going to happen. Greetings, everyone. My name is Dr. Jason Freeman, and I'd like to welcome you all to my channel. In this video, I answer the question, is the FIFA World Cup the world's greatest sporting event? Now, at any point, feel free to click the notification bell or subscribe to my channel to get more content. So, without further ado, let's begin. The Fédération Internationale de Football Association, or FIFA World Cup, is an international football tournament that takes place every 4 years. The first World Cup took place in Uruguay in 1930, and the champion of that tournament was Uruguay. And the U.S. actually came in third place, the best finish of the U.S. ever. This year's tournament will take place in Qatar, which is a country on the Arabian Peninsula, between November 20th, 2022 and December 18th, 2022. Now, the selection of Qatar was not without controversy. First and foremost, there were claims of bribery and corruption in the selection of Qatar. There also have been claims of abuses, labor abuses, when it came to the kind of run-up and kind of infrastructure and construction around the World Cup, as well as clear laws and policies within Qatar which are anti-LGBT+. In fact, even in 2022, male homosexuality is outlawed and illegal. Though Qatar has claimed that those laws will not affect fans in the country during the time of the tournament. Sepp Blatter, who was the head of FIFA at the time of the selection of Qatar, has come out recently and said that basically the choice of Qatar was a mistake, even though Mr. Blatter himself has been plagued with corruption issues. And at this point, there's really nothing that can be done about the selection of that particular country at this time. Now, this video isn't about the morality of the FIFA World Cup. Rather, it's about how does it compare to other large sporting events, in particular the other two major ones, the Summer Olympics, as well as the Super Bowl in the United States. Now, looking at viewership specifically, the World Cup outpaces the Super Bowl by miles. So looking at just the final match of the 2018 World Cup compared to the Super Bowl of the same time, over 1 billion people watched the World Cup final between Croatia and France. Now, how did that compare to the United States Super Bowl of that same time? Well, a lot fewer people. Maybe about 150 million or so, based on the kind of estimates from Statista. Basically, many times the number of people watch the final match of the World Cup compared to the Super Bowl. Now, comparing the World Cup to, say, the Summer Olympics is a lot closer. When it comes to viewership overall, the Summer Olympics actually does edge out the World Cup. However, when it comes to that final match again, which again, over 1 billion people watched the 2018 version, no individual sporting event during the Olympics comes close to the World Cup final. Though with the Olympics, you have many different sporting events, so you end up with more people watching overall. Now, in regards to participation in the World Cup compared to the Super Bowl and the Olympics, in regards to the number of countries that participate in the World Cup, obviously it's more than the Super Bowl, which is, of course, is one nation. But compared to the Olympics, there are far fewer countries that actually are part of participating in the World Cup compared to the Olympics. Now, the World Cup final, the last matches essentially at the end of qualifying includes 32 nations, while the Olympics includes over 200 plus nations every 4 years. And so when it comes to just the number of countries actually part of the World Cup, it's a lot more with the Olympics compared to the World Cup. Now, the last metric I'm going to use in regards to kind of comparing the World Cup to other world tournaments is something that's it's not really a metric, it's a bit intangible, and that is enthusiasm. So when it comes to the Olympics, it's very much a lot of spectacle. It's a lot of, kind of display. There's nothing that really compares to the opening of the Olympics. And there's nothing on either the Super Bowl or the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup, that even compares. But when it comes to the enthusiasm for the sport, the number 1 sport in the world is football. Now, of course, in the United States, we have a different name for it, which I'm not going to use in this video because of any international viewers. I don't want to offend you. But basically, international football is the number 1 sport in the world. So when it comes to enthusiasm for the countries that are part of the actual World Cup, there's nothing that matches it. Nothing with the Super Bowl, nothing with the Olympics at all. Now, when it comes to, again, going back to viewership, the enthusiasm of countries that aren't even in the World Cup, and of course I know this firsthand because in the 2018 World Cup in Russia, my nation was not there, the U.S. Even people whose countries aren't in the tournament at the time, there's still, passion and enthusiasm for those teams that are still playing. So again, when it comes to these metrics, whether you're talking about viewership, number of countries that are involved, as well as enthusiasm, I definitely think the Summer Olympics in particular is close in many ways, but I still would say that the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup, is the number 1 sporting event in the world. Now, if you found this video interesting and or informative, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. Also, please share this video with anyone who you think might find this video interesting or just has a passion for the World Cup. Also, please leave a comment in the comment section below if there's another topic you want me to cover, whether it be sports related, whether it be related to Black British culture, or just about me in general. And lastly, I just want to take this time to mention that I will be covering the U.S. versus England World Cup match that will be taking place at the very beginning of the World Cup. Of course, U.S. and England are in the same group this time, and this did happen a couple years before, so I'm really excited to be talking about this match. I'll be talking about the run-up to the match, not in my next video, which will be on Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but on the one after that. So I'm really excited to be able to talk about the World Cup. U.S. versus England, and then after that, I'll be talking about the aftermath of that match, whether it be with the U.S. upsetting England, England dominating, or even a tight match is what I'm hoping. And I honestly, I'm good for either team. But basically, that'll be the next couple of videos we'll be focusing in on the World Cup. Thank you all for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. you.